Looking poor might sound like the worst possible thing for your image, your success, or your credibility. But the truth is, it's one of the most powerful advantages you can have in life. Let me explain why. And if you're resonating with this idea, subscribe to the channel for more content about building real wealth and living authentically. First, understand that looking poor eliminates targets on your back. When you dress in plain clothes, wear basic sneakers, and carry a simple canvas bag, you become invisible to people who want to exploit you. Wealthy-looking people attract con artists, manipulative friends, and distant relatives who suddenly remember they exist. You get solicited, pressured, and surrounded by people who see dollar signs instead of seeing you. But when you look humble, you filter these people out naturally. Only genuine connections remain. Second, looking poor builds unshakable confidence. When you're not worried about your appearance, when you're not checking if your clothes are impressive enough, when you're not stressed about looking successful, you're free to actually become successful. You develop real self-esteem based on what you do, not what you own. People who need expensive clothes to feel good about themselves are trapped. You're not. You walk into any room knowing your worth isn't tied to your outfit. Third, looking poor keeps your focus on what actually matters. When you're not spending mental energy on brands, fashion, and status symbols, you can direct that energy toward building skills, reading, creating, and solving problems. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by caring what others thought of their appearance. They got there by obsessing over their craft. Steve Jobs wore a black turtleneck and jeans every single day. Bill Gates wore cheap glasses and basic clothing. Their focus wasn't on looking rich, it was on being valuable. Fourth, looking poor saves you enormous amounts of money. This is obvious, but critical to say. When you wear thrifted clothes, generic brands, and simple styles, you're keeping thousands of dollars in your pocket every year. That money compounds. It goes into investments, skills, education, and opportunities that actually build wealth. Meanwhile, people who spend money on luxury brands are staying broke while looking rich. You're getting rich while looking poor. The math is simple. Fifth, looking poor teaches you to focus on quality over status. When you buy a plain white t-shirt, you evaluate it on thread count, fit, and durability. When you buy a second-hand jacket from a thrift store, you check the seams and the fabric. You're training yourself to understand real value. Luxury brands sell you a logo and a story. Quality products sell you durability and function. Once you understand that difference, you can never go back to wasting money on status. Looking poor makes you relatable and trustworthy. People want to work with, invest with, and connect with people who seem grounded. Someone in a faded t-shirt and worn jeans seems real. Someone covered in logos and luxury brands seems fake or desperate. You become someone people want to confide in, someone they believe actually understands them. That authenticity is worth more than any designer outfit could ever be. Seventh, looking poor protects your mental health. The constant pressure to maintain an image is exhausting. You're always comparing yourself to others, always worried about being judged, always stressed about keeping up. When you opt out of that game, you opt out of that stress. You sleep better. You have more mental space for things that actually matter. Your anxiety drops. You feel lighter. Eighth, looking poor gives you freedom. Freedom from judgment, freedom from expectation, freedom from the exhausting performance of wealth. You can wear what's comfortable. You can buy what's practical. You can make decisions based on your actual values, not on what looks good on Instagram. That freedom is a luxury that no designer brand can provide. And if you're finding this perspective refreshing, please like this video. This message matters. Ninth, looking poor attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. Your friends will like you for you. Your partner will value you for who you are. Your colleagues will respect you for your competence. The people in your life will be there because they actually want to be, not because they're impressed by your clothes. That's a filter worth having. 10th, looking poor teaches delayed gratification. When you're not buying things impulsively, when you're not chasing trends, when you're evaluating every purchase carefully, you're building discipline. That discipline transfers to every area of your life. You eat better because you're not buying convenience. You work harder because you're not distracted by consumption. You save more because every purchase has to justify itself. Finally, looking poor is the secret weapon of people building real wealth. The millionaire next door isn't the person with the flashy car. It's the person in the modest apartment with the modest car who's been investing for 20 years. It's the entrepreneur in the thrifted clothes who's building an empire. It's the investor in the basic button-up shirt who's quietly compounding wealth. They understand something crucial. Looking rich keeps you poor, and looking poor makes you rich. So stop trying to look successful. Stop trying to impress people. Stop buying things you don't need to impress people you don't like. Wear what's practical. Buy what's functional. Keep your money. Build your skills. Focus on your craft. Let your actual accomplishments speak louder than any logo ever could. Looking poor isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a strategy. It's a choice. And it's one of the best decisions you can make for your future. If this message resonates with you, please subscribe and drop a comment about how you're resisting the pressure to look successful. I'd love to hear your story.